Hello everybody and welcome to this reading of the Elder Scrolls. I am Double Negative and this is Night Falls on Sentinel by Bawali. No music played in the nameless tavern in Sentinel, and indeed there was very little sound except for discreet, cautious murmurs of conversation, the soft pad of the barmaid's feet on stone, and the delicate slurping of the regular patrons, tongues lapping at their flagons, eyes focused on nothing at all. If anything were less otherwise occupied, the sight of the young Redguard woman in a fine black velvet cape might have aroused surprise, even suspicion. As it were, the strange figure, out of place in an underground cellar so modest it had no sign, blended into the shadows. "Are you Yomik?" The stout, middle-aged man with a face older than his years looked up and nodded. He returned to his drink. The young woman took the seat next to him. "My name is Habala," she said, and pulled out a small bag of gold, placing it next to his mug. "Sure it be," snarled Yomik and met her eyes again. "Who do you want dead?" She did not turn away, but merely asked, "Is it safe to talk here?" "No one cares about nobody else's problems but their own here. You could take off your cuirass and dance bare-breasted on the table and no one'd even spit," the man smiled. "So who do you want dead?" "No one, actually," said Habala. "The truth is, I only want someone removed for a while. Not harmed, you understand, and that's why I need a professional. You come highly recommended." "Who you been talking to?" asked Yomik dully, returning to his drink. "A friend of a friend of a friend of a friend." "One of them friends don't know what he's talking about," grumbled the man. "I don't do that anymore." Habala quietly took out another purse of gold and then another, placing them at the man's elbow. He looked at her for a moment and then poured the gold out and began counting. As he did, he asked, "Who do you want removed?" "Just a moment," smiled Habala, shaking her head. "Before we talk details, I want to know that you're a professional, and you won't harm this person very much, and that you'll be discreet." "You want discreet?" The man paused in his counting. "All right, I'll tell you about an old job of mine. It's been, by arcane, I can hardly believe it, more than 20 years, and no one but me's alive who had anything to do with the job. This is back before the time of the War of Bethesda. Remember that?" "I was just a baby." "Course you was," Yomik smiled. "Everyone knows that King Loten had an older brother, Greklith, what died, right? And then he's got his older sister, Abki, what married that king fella in Daggerfall. But the truth's that he had 2 elder brothers." "Really?" Habala's eyes glistened with interest. "No lie," he chuckled. "Weedy, feeble fella called Arthago, the king and queen's firstborn. Anyhow, this prince was heir to the throne, which his parents wasn't too thrilled about, and then the queen, she squeezed out 2 more princes who looked a lot more fit. That's when me and the boys got hired on, to make it look like the first prince got took off by the Underking or some such story." "I had no idea," the young woman whispered. "Of course you didn't. That's the point." Yomik shook his head. "Discretion, like you said. We bagged the boy, dropped him off deep in an old ruin, and that was that. No fuss, just a couple fellas, a bag, and a club." "That's what I'm interested in," said Habala. "Technique. My friend who needs to be taken away is weak also, like this prince. What is the club for?" "It's a tool. So many things what was better in the past ain't around no more, just 'cause people today prefer ease of use to what works right. Let me explain. There's 71 prime pain centers in an average fella's body. Elves and Khajiit, being so sensitive and all, got 3 or 4 more, respectively. Argonians and Slodes, almost as many as 52 and 67. Yomik used his short, stubby finger to point out each region on Habala's body. 6 in your forehead, 2 in your brow, 2 on your nose, 7 in your throat, 10 in your chest, 9 in your abdomen, 3 on each arm, 12 in your groin, 4 in your favored leg, 5 in the other." "That's 63, replied Habala. "No, it's not," growled Yomik. "Yes, it is," the young lady cried back, indignant that her mathematical skills were being questioned. 6 plus 2 plus 2 plus 7 plus 10 plus 9 plus 3 for one arm and 3 for the other plus 12 plus 4 plus 5. 63. I must have left some out, shrugged Yomik. The important thing is that to become skilled with a staff or club, you gotta be a master of these pain centers. Done right, a light tap could kill, or knock out without so much as a bruise. Fascinating, smiled Habala. And no one ever found out? Why would they? The boy's parents, the king and queen, they're both dead now. The other children always thought their brother got carried off by the underking. That's what everyone thinks. And all my partners are dead. Of natural causes? Ain't nothing natural that ever happens in the bay. You know that. One fella got sucked up by one of them Selenu. Another died of that same plague that took the queen and Prince Greclith. Another fella got himself beat up to death by a burglar. You gotta keep low, out of sight like me, if you want to stay alive. Yomik finished counting the coins. You must want this fella out of the way bad. Who is it? It's better if I show you, said Habala, standing up. Without a look back, she strode out of the nameless tavern. Yomik drained his beer and went out. The night was cool with an unrestrained wind surging off the water of the Iliac Bay, sending leaves flying like whirling shards. Habala stepped out of the alleyway next to the tavern and gestured to him. As he approached her, the breeze blew open her cape, revealing the armor beneath and the crest of the King of Sentinel. The fat man stepped back to flee, but she was too fast. In a blur, she found himself in the alley on his back, the woman's knee pressed firmly against his throat. The king has spent years since he took the throne looking for you and your collaborators, Yomik. His instructions to me what to do when I found you were not specific, but you've given me an idea. From her belt, Habala removed a small, sturdy cudgel. A drunk, stumbling out of the bar, heard a whimpered moan accompanied by a soft whisper coming from the darkness of the alley. Let's keep better count this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This has been a reading of Night Falls on Sentinel from The Elder Scrolls III Morrowind, also found in The Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion and The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. This has been Double Negative. If you like this video, then please click the like button. If not, please very much click the dislike button. I really appreciate it. And if you'd like to hear more reading of The Elder Scrolls, then please do not forget to subscribe. Thank you very much.